So the news broke. Rodney Taylor appointed CTU Secretary General. And I kept thinking, I know this man. But where do I know this man from? Good morning to you, Mr. Taylor.
Good morning. Good
Good.
morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
And then I remembered, I know this man because I know his wife.
Oh, well,
Yes,
I have no
Lynette.
problem with that, sir.
Oh, that's wonderful. But congratulations on your appointment as now the Secretary General of the Caribbean Telecommunications Union. Well done.
Thank you very much.
You're very
Yes.
welcome. And you've taken up position from the first of this month.
Yeah,
And
Monday.
from Monday, are you going to be based in Barbados or will you be based in Trinidad?
No, CTU is headquartered in Trinidad, and I will be in at the earliest opportunity. As you know, there are travel restrictions in Trinidad, and we've applied through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Trinidad to go into Trinidad. But it is my intention to have the vaccines here before going to Trinidad, so it will be at least 2 months before I head there.
Okay. Now, all eyes are now going to be on you because the region in itself, the pandemic has scattered a lot of things, whether it's shipping, but telecommunications has stood up. And so we're able now to connect with the world through telecommunications. So it's a very critical component to everything we do. And you've now been catapulted literally into the forefront. What challenges do you see immediately that you probably need to address as the Caribbean Telecommunications Union?
Well, the CTU is 32 years old, and its mandate is to ensure that there are harmonized policies in relation to telecoms and the ICT sector throughout the Caribbean. So it's CARICOM Plus. There are 20 member states, including Cuba and some others that are not directly in CARICOM. And the challenge now, of course, is to ensure that we have resilient communications across the region, robust networks, that can withstand disasters, that can support, and particularly now in COVID. I was listening to your guest before from the Guardian Church of God, and you'll see that, of course, like many other institutions, a lot of their activities are now online. So church services are virtual, concerts, carnival, what have you. Burris Hammond just had a virtual concert attended by 130,000 people. Trinidad just held its carnival virtually. So there's a lot of reliance. Even this program, this production this morning is coming over the internet. And our challenge is to ensure that we have robust, resilient networks that can support all of these activities, including the need, of course, for online learning classes for our children, not just the communications network, but the networks, but the devices, as well as the educational content that they need in order to grow and develop.
All of that, I suspect, will now require some upgrading of technology in the respective markets that you'll be servicing because, it's a lot of traffic now. Everybody is in the same space and like any highway, it gets congested. So how do you see that now being smoothened or the highways being widened for the delivery of those services?
Well, we have to create an environment that is attractive for foreign investment and for local and foreign investment in increasing the capacity of those networks. We have regulators throughout our member states, including Barbados, that look at issues of quality of service. So to ensure that there isn't buffering, and you can hear me clearly, and I'm not sticking, as I try to communicate with you. So that is a part of regulation, and CTU works with regulators throughout the region to ensure that there is a good quality of service as all of these services are contending on the network. And the truth is that you really do need to increase the capacity of the networks by way of investing in those networks. And in some countries, large developed countries, the government, in fact, has subsidized or has made investment in the infrastructure to make it attractive for those investments.
How is regulation in each market impacting on that delivery of service, though?
Well, regulation has a big part to play because we are, if as a good regulator, you're supposed to do network audits, quality of service audits and stuff to make sure that customers at the end of the day are receiving what they're paying for and that, there are no dropouts on the network, whether it's a mobile phone call or a WhatsApp call or a video conference and what have you. Regulations are really about auditing networks as well and ensuring that that service providers have to comply with a minimum level of quality of service.
That's what it does. But are you, from your own global view, satisfied that each market space in the Caribbean, at least let's start there, where the service that you have to offer for the Caribbean, are you satisfied that those regulations are compatible or at least on level with each so that we can all be able to communicate effectively with each other?
Right. So the CARICOM heads of government very recently mandated us to look at the issue of establishing a regional regulator. There are different regulators within each market. So the OECS has an ECTEL, and they regulate the OECS countries, with the exception of Antigua. Barbados has its own regulator through the chief telecoms unit, which is subsumed in the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Smart Technology. Within Trinidad is the Telecoms Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. So there is a mix of regulations or regulators within the region. We do have really good quality networks, despite the challenges that that COVID has brought in terms of increased capacity on the networks. But for the most part, for example, if you look at fiber, we have fiber to the home here in Barbados. In cases where, like the United States and UK, they don't have that. So we have good quality networks just to ensure, though, that network operators are living up to those agreed service levels that they have committed to the customers. So I'm satisfied that there's good regulation and that we do have cutting edge networks in the region, in the public and private sectors, and that there's more to be done, yes, and CTU will play its part to ensure that we continue to have cutting edge networks that can take the region forward.
You know, we often hear, within my first 100 days, I shall. So have you been able to sit down and document for yourself, within my first 100 days, I shall?
I'm in the process of doing that, all right? So the first 5 days, I shall reach out to all of the CTU member states directly. One-on-one, I've already met with the president of the CTU, who is the Minister, Honorable Medford Nicholas from Antigua and Barbuda, and also the chairman of the Executive Council, Ms. Joaquin Murray from Jamaica. And the intention is to meet with them one-on-one. So first of all, to introduce myself, to share my vision, and to hear from them what are their concerns with respect to the running of the CTU Secretariat. To reach out to all of our other stakeholders, there are global players with respect to internet regulations, such as the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, the American Registry for Internet Numbers. All of these bodies set internet policy that impact us as developing countries, and I want to be able to build strong relationships with them over the next couple of weeks. Well, at least reach out to them and see how we can improve the working relationships so that the developing countries within the region have a greater say in how the internet is developed in the future.
Thus, within your first 5 days, we'll be watching you, we'll be marking you. But we know you'll bring us great success. So, Rodney Taylor, it's been great talking to you this morning. Congratulations on your recent appointment as a Secretary General of the Caribbean Telecommunications Union. And we look forward to great things, as always, coming from you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pearson.
You're very welcome. 27.5 minutes after the hour. So what's the latest with Ryan Brathwaite? We'll talk to him after this break.
Morning, morning.